Subodaya, Namaskara. Namaskara, Bengaluru. Nanna Hesaru, Pancham Taneja. And I'm going to talk about AI and distributed ledger technologies. So I've been in banking. I was in banking for about 10 years, and the last 2.5 years I've been in consulting. And during consulting, we've tried to develop some solutions which are going to be useful for the SI sector. So basically, I want to talk about AI and blockchain technology. Before I start, I have a few disclaimers. I am an technology amateur amongst professionals. I'm a tech enthusiast amongst experts, and I will try and make full sense of the technology on display from a business user perspective. So we'll start with that. Before we start, I do want to give a very, very brief introduction about Delta Capita as to what we do. So we are a financial services, financial consulting or financial services firm. We are headquartered out of UK. Been in the business for almost 14 years. We started our India business about 2.5 years ago. You wouldn't believe it. When I started the business in India, the company is Delta Capita. It was in the midst of Delta variant. So it was a very challenging time to set up a company named Delta Capita when the whole world was going through a pandemic. So we have been in India for 2.5 years. Our offerings include consulting, traditional advisory consulting, services, and also technology solutions. So this is something what we do. So we have people-based services, managed teams, managed services, and software as a solution. On the consulting side, as I mentioned, we do provide advisory services, and we do traditional consulting practices, which involves technology solutions as well. Now, before I go further, I do want to ask a question that AI, generative AI, and blockchain is the buzzword, but do you understand the use of it, and can anybody tell me how does it impact your daily life, AI? Very, very common use of AI in our daily lives, and probably we haven't realized it. Google Maps is one of the examples where AI is being used extensively. You go buy a new car these days, it's enabled with ADAS. ADAS is nothing but, again, AI. It's making decisions for you. So basically, AI and blockchain technologies, or any form of AI, is said to be using human intelligence and making decisions for humans. So this is what we try and capture in our solutions, where we can make the machine work or think like humans. So that's what our solutions are based on. What is the one thing, a few things every business or business owner is looking for? Greater profits, lower cost, customer satisfaction, which leads to growth. But the most underplayed essence of a business, or most underplayed sort of aspect of a business, which Srikanth also mentioned, which doesn't get played very well, is risk management, operational risk. I was in the bank for 10 years, and I was always told that before you are any sort of manager, you are a risk manager. And I've lived with that even after I've left the bank. Risk management is the key to all the things I mentioned before. Any firm, any business, if they can manage their risk well, they will achieve what they set out to achieve in terms of growth, profitability, cost, et cetera, et cetera. But there are challenges. There are challenges to meeting these. So what sort of challenges are we talking about? Being cost effective. We usually do not have a plethora of cash to do what we want to do. Then we are crunched on resources. You ask for headcount, you're going to get half of it. So your resource crunch, you have to be cost effective. And moreover, in this very, very dynamic regulatory environment, you have to be compliant. How many times does the regulation go through a change? Since 2008 till now, after the financial crisis of 2008, the regulatory landscape in banking has changed innumerable times. I have been at the forefront of making those changes from an operational perspective, and I know how challenging these can be. It doesn't come as a surprise that we live in a highly tech-enabled world. And that means that all our communication is based out of emails, chats, Symphony chat rooms, Bloomberg, whatever. But did you realize that beyond communication, we've also used Outlook for something else? We've made it our workflow. When I joined the bank in 2010, I was surprised at the amount of shared inboxes and mailboxes that the teams had to just do their daily work. So this inbox, that inbox, checklist, looking at emails from the clients, and that created more work than could be done. So basically what our solution does is provides a centralized place for all communication that needs to be done internally and or externally. So this is where QMA, or Query Management Application, comes in. It basically transforms how teams collaborate and communicate. It streamlines your communication. It basically brings in all the communication you're having with a person onto a single platform. So you could be talking to me on Teams chat, Outlook, or a Symphony chat room regarding a particular trade. It will bring in all the information to one aspect and one platform. Enhances client experience because you are able to provide client with data that they're looking for in a fast manner. It is data driven and it provides ease of work. Our technology solutions are basically designed to provide just better, just what I said, better client experience and solutions catered to improve profitability. It offers you one more thing, which is tangible, but you can't put it on your balance sheet. You know what that is? Ease of mind, peace of mind, sukoon, chain ki neend. You need to sleep well after a hard day's of work. And if you've done all those things, you will go home and have a good night's sleep. So these are some of the benefits of our tool, which is it provides actionable data insights, it enhances team collaboration, has a prioritized inbox, and it puts everything in one place.
Communication overload is impossible to manage. QMA helps you organize your requests intelligently, so you only see what you need when you need it. Real-time prioritization ensures you never miss an urgent request. Introducing QMA, Communication Manager. Helping you focus without the fuss. Save up to 90 minutes a day. Get actionable data and insights, better team collaboration, and improved client service. All in one place. Learn more here. QMA, powered by Delta Capita.
The genesis of this was in the back office of an investment bank. A settlement team couldn't deal with the inundation of emails they had, internal, external. They couldn't get the trade confirmations back to the clients in good time. And they were failing cutoffs. So basically, you're failing cutoff, you're not meeting your client expectation, you're not meeting your regulatory compliances. So the team then sought help. And this is how QMA came into being. It started to provide data-driven analysis, brought all communication in one place, and these are the benefits. So this is the growing burden of communications which I mentioned. What are your challenges? Your challenges are lack of transparency because your data is spread all over. What banks have most and most of the other organizations have most? Plethora of data. Do you think we make good use of data? I don't think so. I can tell you as an end user with a bank, I have an account with them, I have a car loan with them, I have a home loan with them, and I have an investment portfolio with them. But every time I want information, it is not available at a single source. It is available at different sources. And every time I want to apply for something new, I have to provide a new set of documentation, which the bank already holds for me. It's a challenge. So what this does is, it gives you data analytics, insights, and reporting. Your challenge is high volumes, I just mentioned. We do not have innumerable resources. We have to be cost effective. And this allows you auto assignment and prioritization of your top clients to whom you can provide information. My biggest fear while I was working for the bank was risk management. You know what sort of risk management? We used to deal with client data a lot. I think Srikanth mentioned that as well. There was masses of client data we had. My biggest fear was I sending the right client data to the right client? Was I sending information relevant to A? I was not sending it to B. Client confidentiality used to be my bugbear. And if it happened, that means I would be in front of 20 MDs explaining why this happened, why couldn't we stop it, why couldn't we check the email address. Now this allows you to actually take client confidentiality out of question, because all your data is coming to a single platform, and it is also validating your email addresses before sending it out. So there becomes, it reduces or mitigates the risk of client confidentiality. Obviously, time spent by the person navigating multiple communication channels is reduced because all data is now coming onto a single platform. This is how the dashboard could look like, where you could see assignments, you could see how much of it needs approval. It is not taking away human interaction. It still requires human interaction, but it is a smarter way of working because it allows you to do things in a faster, better way. This dashboard could have a user view, could have a manager's view, so you could slice and dice data as you may like. Now this is based on NLP. Basically what we've done is, we've taught the system to understand what I am thinking and how I would assign priorities on the inbox. So this does it over a period of time through its cognitive ability, learns more and more, and then starts to assign tasks in order of priority. If I am not present on a particular day, and if the task is important to be replied to, it will reroute the tasks to the next best person. So it understands the capability of the analyst or the agent available that day, and it moves the task forward. Some of the key highlights of the inbox. So before I move on to the next topic that we want to discuss, I just want to ask, what are the biggest challenges facing the financial industry today? I think I mentioned a few of them as well. It is the dynamic industry that we are in, the constant change in regulations that we face, and it is the security and the privacy of data that we hold within the confines of an organization. Try doing changes on an outdated platform. How many of you grapple with legacy platforms? True. And try changing the legacy platform. It takes a decade or a little more than that just to make a change from one to the other, and by the time you moved on to the new platform, you're already trying to see if you can sunset that platform as well. So you're moving from one legacy platform to another legacy platform because we're not nimble in the way we are approaching our problems. This is where I want to introduce distributed ledger technology. We've just rebranded the whole suite of things as of yesterday. It's now called MARC. MARC is nothing but a sign of speed. It denotes speed. Mark 1, Mark 2, speed, sound of speed. So this has been rebranded. Now it offers a suite of products. This is a blockchain technology, basically part of distributed ledger blockchain technology, which offers increased efficiency, enhanced transparency, and improved accessibility. How does it do it? So basically, it offers a suite of products which have been renamed. So the first one, settlement, is now called MARC Optimize. Basically, it allows you to settle data in scalable real time without the use of intermediaries. Second, which is asset and collateralization, is now called Tokenize. Basically, it gives you a record of your ownership, and it allows you to trade on this ownership data in the secondary market as well. The third one speaks for itself, multi-ledger books and records, and it is now called MARC Ledger, which allows you to have your ledgers synchronized in one place, and it saves time on reconciliation. The next one is Mark assign. Basically, it is digital issuance of data and custody. It tokenizes your assets, and it helps you in secondary market. The fifth one is Mark Pass, which is nothing but a digital passport. Basically, we all grapple with KYC data. Like I just mentioned before, how many times do you have to provide the same documentation to clear KYC for different products? This just allows you to hold KYC data centrally, which can be shared not just within the bank, but across the industry in terms of operability. And the last one is Mark Bridge, which is the interoperability of the product, which allows you to perform the same thing across various blockchain solutions. So it allows you not just to operate within the confines of the bank, but you could talk to various blockchain portals through this solution. These are a few benefits. I do want to conclude in summary by saying that we are trying to solve multitude of challenges that the banks or the financial institutions are facing in a sector, and one of them is not being able to manage data properly. Now, if we are able to manage data properly and massage data properly, half the battle is won. Now, AI allows us to manage data properly. Blockchain allows us to keep the data secure. So basically, both the aspects of data in terms of driving and analytics and keeping it secure are being done by the solutions that we are trying to build. Our focus in doing so is to reduce operational risk, cost, and open up to new opportunities as well. There is benefit in harnessing this opportunity and bringing it together. Like I said, merging AI and blockchain, it's not happened as of now, but in future, we will try and we could make it happen. So it will lead to better automation, security, transparency, and better data management, and also provide scalability to business to look for newer opportunities. So with that, that is the end of my presentation. I still have about 10, 12 minutes to take any questions. If people have any questions, more than happy to answer questions right now. Go ahead, please.
So what is the ledger that you're using behind your blockchain?
Sorry?
Which ledger that you use?
Like I said, I'm not from technology background, so I don't know much, but I can obviously get back to you on the answer to that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello, sir. Thank you for the presentation. So my question is regarding the regularization by the government. How regularized will the use of AI and blockchain will be in the country like India, and what challenges will any such organization will face? That's all.
I think a lot of people spoke about ethical use of AI, and when regulations come through, all players will have to abide by the regulation. I believe RBI is bringing in regulation for LLMs. It is also trying to launch its own coin or digital currency. So there is regulation required, and once it comes through, all players will have to comply with the regulations. And our technology is also already based on such things that we will be able to comply with the said regulations when they come through. So I don't see a change happening in terms of applicability of AI and blockchain. Rather, it's going to grow after regulations come through.
Okay, thank you very much.
Hi, Pancham.
Hi.
Quick question. Which banks or financial services companies are using your QNA and your Mark product?
So we actually uplifted QMA from a bank. We uplifted technology from Citibank. It is their internal technology, which we now own, and we're going to productize it. And same time next year, hopefully, it'll be in the market with other banks. In terms of blockchain, it is already in use. I can't name the banks which are using it already. It is being used, I can say Citi, but other European banks and tier 1 global banks are already using it. There were some use cases as a different presentation, so I can share the presentation with you separately, but there are some use cases which we've done for stock exchanges and also for tier 1 global banks.
Thanks.
Hi, my name is Manish. I do not have a question related to the capital markets or this domain per se, but just need your perspective. Like we've been hearing about the Gen AI adoption for the last 2 days, 3 days, right? So like for right now, many companies are assessing on where to leverage the Gen AI capabilities or the AI capabilities overall. And it does require a lot of computational resources, storage resources, and all those kind of things, right? So being all these systems so heavy on computational requirements, and every company wants their own, tiny language model or large language model depending upon their problems, and do not really want to share the platforms because of their own data security requirements, regulatory requirements, right? So do you think let's say everybody found good use cases, they implemented something, the computational requirement that it took up, do you see any environmental downside of this?
What sort of environmental? What are you getting at?
So in a way, like, computation is a machine, right? So it's running somewhere, right? It's taking the energy, electricity, it's generating heat, it's generating you understand what I'm trying to say, right? So
from a
do you see any
carbon footprint perspective?
Yeah, carbon footprint perspective. Yeah, exactly.
I don't think so. These things have been in use. So you're creating a model. Basically what you're doing is doing things faster. So you're creating a model to do things faster. If I don't do this, I'll have 10 or 100 people doing the same thing, which is going to take 5 days instead of 5 minutes. So they will end up using the same kind of resources that you just spoke about. So the environment that I'm trying to create is going to be nimble and faster. So I don't think it's going to have any environmental effect as such.
Okay, thank you.
Hello. Yeah. Actually, I have 2 questions.
Yeah.
First question is like how your system is trained to adapt to the different like black swan events, like which are unexpected events, which you don't have any data repository. That's first part. Second part is like as you mentioned, your whatever system is already implemented in Citibanks and all. So I'm Abhinav from Shapoorji Finance.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so what are you doing to understand the Indian banks and NBFCs, and how do you are understanding the businesses and trying to, let's say, get to them basically?
So like I said, it's NLP based. So I want the system to behave like what I think. Now, if I don't have a use case where something has gone wrong, so there is always an element of human in between, right? If we see something which has gone wrong, it becomes a use case for us. Then we try and recreate the use case in the system for it to start behaving the way that we want it to. Like, let's say, assume you were not available and it needs to be reassigned. For the first instance, it didn't get reassigned. We realized that we have to build on this capability. So we created the use case for it for reassignment, created depth charts of people who would be using it so that the task could bounce up from 1, 2, 3, 4 and get done rather than be parked in the queue which nobody's looking at. So that's one aspect of it. In terms of second question is very good one because we do want to target the local Indian market as well. It is not a use case for just tier 1 global banks or international banks. So we will work, we will have use cases, we will work, we are ourselves a consulting firm, right? So we will create use cases to understand what the local banks want, the HDFCs or the SBIs. It's not just a banking solution, by the way, it is applicable to BPOs and KPOs as well. So we're looking at that aspect as well, where your TCS or the Wipros could use it because they are the ones who are getting inundated with emails. They're working on things like the bots in the background. This can potentially be on top of that as well. So we are working on those.
Are you trying to target fintechs as well?
Fintechs, insurance, BPOs, KPOs. From a QMA perspective, everything is under the ambit. From a blockchain perspective, it is mostly financial. So insurance companies, investment banks, stock exchanges, these will be our target markets.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Pancham. Thanks for the wonderful presentation. My name is Kishore, and I am from Canara Bank. I just want to know about two important issues, like one is scalability and interoperability in the application of the blockchain. When it comes to scalability, like the number of transactions increase, like it depends on different organizations and also across countries. How are you just not going through, treating to this scalability issue and also interoperability issue? Because as the number of blockchains are different with their unique features, how are they communicating? How are you just to overcome these challenges across countries? Like,
Very, very technical question. So I do not have the right answer to it because, as I said, I'm an amateur amongst professionals over here. But I can talk about the scalability aspect. Scalability is basically, it's very internal to where we uplift the technology from. It has a 10,000 user base or a 10,000 transaction base. So our aim is to increase the load of it to take on 10 times more the data it is currently consuming. So that is why when we productize it, we'll take a year to productize it, we will enhance the capability of it to take on more and more data from various sources. So that is how we're going to improve upon the scalability of the model. Currently it is doing X and we want to do it X to the power of 10. To the next question in terms of interoperability, that's something I can obviously get back to you because I don't have a clue on how the architecture works in the background, but that's something I will revert.
Thank you, thank you.